XRP as a global reserve currency? That would be nice, wouldn't it? This article here is titled, Grok Identifies Occasions Ripple Executives Suggested XRP as Global Reserve Currency. I mean, many of us have heard them say that and read them say that quite a few times over the last few years, right? And then it gets buried and you know how it goes. But let's read this article. It says here, Grok, the AI chatbot developed by Elon Musk's team. I didn't even know he had his team developed an AI chatbot. See, I still have a lot to learn. Has identified instances where executives from Ripple have promoted XRP as a prospective global reserve currency. In a recent post, the pro XRP influencer behind the X account, quote, digital asset investor, unquote, shared a screenshot of a conversation featuring Grok's responses regarding XRP in the context of reserve currency. The influencer remarked that his investment in XRP has always been its potential as a global reserve currency. Very interesting. He noted that he is not chasing green candles or the next pump. This is a wise individual right here. Instead, he is focused on not missing out on significant opportunities. I think a lot of long-term holders, whether you're waiting on something like this or you're waiting for the banks to use it, whatever your reasons are for being a long-term investor, I think a lot of long-term investors feel very similar. They're not chasing the green candles or the pumps and such like that. I do feel like it's exciting times, though. I'll tell you that much, especially in correlation with other assets. With other assets, that will benefit greatly, but may not have as bright of a future as XRP long term, right? But let's go down here because this individual uncovered some things here through this AI. It says Grok cited examples. Grok quoted statements Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse made during a 2017 interview with CNBC. The AI quoted it thus, quote, I think the role of a digital asset like XRP is really to be a bridge currency to enable tremendous amount of efficiency and really allow the globalization of payments in a way that has never been done before, unquote. It says similarly, the AI tool referenced the 2018 interview with Bloomberg, in which Garlinghouse discussed the long-term value proposition of XRP. Essentially, he underscored XRP's substantial utility in tackling a multi-trillion-dollar problem. Furthermore, Grok claimed Ripple's chairman, Chris Larsen, had said XRP stands out as the only digital asset with a distinct institutional use case. Also, it claimed Larsen similarly emphasized XRP's purpose in addressing the multi-trillion-dollar challenges inherent in global payments. Moreover, Grok claimed that during the 2018 interview with CNBC, Larsen expressed the belief that XRP has a genuine opportunity to become a global digital currency utilized by both financial institutions and consumers. You imagine that, and a lot of people probably have already thought this and put this out there, that XRP is in the biggest shakeout of all time. Like, look how long things have been going on, just dragging out, like in court, as an example, on institutional use or on-demand liquidity, all that type of stuff, right? That's what we're trying to get through right now. And it's just the biggest shakeout of all time before there's just this monstrous rush, of institutional money into XRP, causing it to skyrocket like no one would ever believe. And I'm just throwing thoughts out there. I'm not saying that's the way it's going to go, but I'm just throwing thoughts out there. Just imagine that for a moment. It would be very interesting, would it? Wouldn't it be interesting? I know I'm throwing a lot of interesting things out there, but wouldn't it be interesting if they were all in on it? That would be crazy, right? And I mean, one would have to say they did a great job, right? So many people shaking out of a lot of the top utility coins. Actually, there's been FUD everywhere, but this is very interesting times we live in, folks. Now let's move on here to another article here. This article is titled Ripple VP Shares Excitement on XRP Ledger Incoming Feature. Of course, this is about the automated market maker. Of course, it got pushed back a little bit, but this lets you know how significant it is and why it needs to be, even if it's a small little bug, even if it's tiny, it needs to be fixed first because we want that to be successful and have this massive impact that everyone believes it's going to have. It says on January 31st, the AMM achieved a majority and may be activated. No, that changed. However, let's scroll down here, see if we can get to the quote here. It says, in a tweet, Ripple's VP of Corporate Strategy and Operations, Emi Yoshikawa, expresses her enthusiasm for the AMM amendment, which adds automated market maker capabilities to XRP Ledger. Now, at some point here, she goes into a little bit of the details as why she's excited about this. It says, Yoshikawa feels that the AMM amendment will be a game changer for the XRP Ledger, according to her flashback tweet. The Ripple VP stated that if the AMM is added to XRP Ledger via an amendment, it is likely to become the most powerful DEX of CLOB and AMM combined and significantly boost liquidity. Now, that's what I'm interested in right there. It is likely to become the most powerful DEX of CLOB and AMM combined. And that is something that we need. We need more advantages. We need to be out front. We want XRP and XRPL-based systems to be the most delicious asset possible for those institutions, just my humble opinion. That's how I feel. For those institutions, for those banks. So when the time is ready, they have no problem whatsoever flooding the XRPL with those trillions that everybody's been talking about for so long. So now let's move on here to another article. So this article here is titled, "These two indicators point to an XRP surge and possible $1 reclaim." Let's find out what they're talking about here. It says XRP, after XRP's most recent struggles, technical indicators are now finally pointing towards a period of bullish price action for the altcoin. Following a prolonged period of bearishness, a beacon of hope is finally arising for XRP. The cryptocurrency has managed a strong consolidation above 50 cents, recovering from a recent setback that pushed it below the critical support level. With XRP now trading at 51 cents, two major technical indicators are also pointing to more gains for the crypto token if the emerging bullish market conditions prevail. It says here, first, XRP recently flashed a bullish MACD signal on the daily chart. The movement of the blue ribbon above the red ribbon, as shown in the section of the image below, typically suggests a bullish trend reversal. The A/D line points to XRP bounce. Another prominent indicator pointing to a trend reversal for XRP price is the accumulation and distribution line. Come on, get it together, Alphany. While the price of XRP has declined since October, the accumulation and distribution indicator has flipped bullish, indicating strong buying around the recent price levels. Okay, so we'll see. They're saying there could be a surge. I'll take it. I'm ready for a fun time. You know, Bitcoin is up a little bit, and I see other things have begun to rise as well. So things are looking a little bit more fun than usual. We'll see if it's just a matter of time before some of that capital flows out of Bitcoin and, you know, into projects like XRP and such like that. You know, listen, Bitcoin always pulls everything up, but it takes a little bit of time. There's a little bit of lag, typically, from what I've seen. It could be different this time. Who knows? All right. So things are getting a little bit more interesting. I'm all for it. So now let's move on here to a little bit more information, a little bit more Stellar news. So Stellar did a little Google search, and Stellar had this little bit of information to put out there. And it's about their cross-border payments. Apparently, they're pushing that again. I don't know who they're talking about that they ask questions to. They're talking about cross-border payments. But, you know, all the institutions for sure are interested in this. And you have all of these people around the world moving from one place to the other. That's going to come in handy. They're going to need wallets to move money quickly, efficiently. But Stellar has this here, this little page they put a link to. And it's your guide to a borderless world, right? Stellar for cross-border payments. And so this is an ebook that you can download and learn a little bit more about what Stellar is doing for their cross-border payments. But it says this website post is titled Global Payments that settle instantly, instant settlement. Scale your payments globally and expand to new geographies with 24/7, 365 settlement on the Stellar network. Harness the versatility of cross-border payments that can power remittances, meet payroll, invoice suppliers, maintain treasury balances, and more. We were just talking about this in yesterday's video. Now, YouTube had some major problems yesterday. You can always check if YouTube's having problems on downdetector.com. I believe that's what it's called. So maybe a lot of people didn't get to see that video. But if you want, there were some three good stellar chapters in that video yesterday. One about cross-border payments, MoneyGram, one and two of them just in relation to Treasury and Stellar. OK, so if you haven't already, check that video out from yesterday. It was pretty good. So maintain Treasury balances and more. Maximize the speed and low transaction costs of the Stellar Network's payment rails to access over 300 global cash. Now, my thoughts immediately go to, who is this being sent to? Now, this does not sound like it's aimed at regular people. Just the verbiage alone is not aimed at regular people. This is aimed at institutions. So then I would love to know. I don't know if Stellar will put this out there. Who do they send this to? Who are they advertising to with this? It's one. See, and I refuse to believe that they only post things on Twitter. And I think a lot of companies, they have this illusion where they just put something on Twitter. You never see it anywhere else, which can be very concerning to a lot of people, I think. But I don't believe that. I know how it goes. You're sending this to people's offices. You're sending emails out to different businesses. But which ones? Like, I think that would be good for the community to know. But hey, maybe I'm the only one who feels that way. But this is definitely targeted. So as we're moving towards a climate in the legislative regulatory climate in the United States where things may at some point in the near future get a little bit better for crypto, things like this are going to come in handy because, like I said before, there's a lot of small businesses that can use something like this, Stellar payments. So if Stellar Foundation indeed wants to push the Stellar blockchain, needs to be looking at not just the big institutions. And yeah, I hear the lip service about the unbanked, but I haven't seen much on that end. So let me stick to the institutions. Reach out to the small businesses. You know, it's sort of, in my humble opinion, I think a lot of crypto is focused on the big money at the large institutions, Stellar included. And I get it. I want that big money to come also. But there's a lot of money on the table when it comes to small businesses. They could use a lot of advantage. Which reminds me, once again, of AI, like on the other channel. I hate to say it, but AI is doing, in my humble opinion, what crypto said it was going to do. Like crypto said it was going to be for the people, bank the unbanked, help the little guys and stuff like that. And really, it's just a moneymaker. Right now, crypto is just for moneymakers, right? That's how I look at it. It has absolutely very, very little to do with the little guy, except when there's a bull run and the little people can make tons of money. Other than that, when it's not a bull run, I don't see people using the systems. And that's what I think crypto needs to get to. Get the people to use the systems. But how can the people use it if crypto doesn't advertise? They have to advertise to the people. Now, with AI, they're making so many things free and they're putting it out there that the small businesses, the small people can benefit. And that's helping them get to the money. And that's what the people need right now as we're going into a depressionary state. Make no mistake about it. And you can see that. Like even the jobs data is getting exposed, right? Just to throw some other thoughts in there as to why people need something like Stellar, why people need things like AI for their small business, because they need to be stacking their money right now, saving their money, stacking their money, making as much money as possible. That's how I look at it. Stellar can help them do that. It definitely can. But the people need to know about implementing these technologies, how to use smart contracts on their chain before it even drops. More training, but you got to put it out there. How can they know how to use it if they don't know it exists? You got to let them know. Stellar-based wallets, what do you have? Like millions of people in the United States right now that can't get a bank account, right? For a lot of different reasons. Okay, well, pitch some of this to them. Like, okay, we have these wallets here. How are you reaching out to them? Are you reaching out to them, right? Once again, AI does that. AI has advertisements everywhere. People have the ability to find it. That's what I'm saying, right? I wish Stellar would do the same. Maybe they're doing it behind the scenes, but this is huge. This is great. Let's get some of that unbanked. Let's get some of that underbanked activity going where these people are actually utilizing these systems because they would utilize them in mass. People are always looking for something better. So anyway, so that's what they have here. That's the thoughts I have on it. Let's move on here. So it's been very interesting the last few days with Bitcoin, and I'm just waiting for Bitcoin to explode. It's been looking much, much better. I know a lot of us want to make some good money off of Bitcoin. This article is titled, Bitcoin could hit $48,000 in days, propelled by historic Chinese New Year gains. 10x research, the largest crypto rallied every time in the last 9 years by 11% on average around the Chinese New Year festivity, says 10x's Mark Thielen. It says Bitcoin, we'll skip past the bullet points. Bitcoin is headed towards $48,000 in the short term after its breakout, fueled by a strong track record of gains around the Chinese New Year celebration, according to Marcus Thielen, head of research at Matrixport and founder of 10x Research. Quote, the next few days are of paramount statistical importance as Bitcoin tends to rally by plus 11% around Chinese New Year, starting on February the 10th, Saturday, unquote. Thielen wrote in a Thursday report, quote, during the last 9 years, Bitcoin has been up every time traders would have bought Bitcoin 3 days before and sold it 10 days after the start of Chinese New Year, unquote. It says the largest crypto market by market capitalization surged past $45,000 Thursday after yesterday clearing a key resistance level of $44,000, which had been capping prices since the spot ETFs began trading in the U.S. about 4 weeks ago. All right, so things have been looking very interesting when it comes to Bitcoin. We'll see how high it can go. I hope it's gearing up and coiling up, as people like to say, to make a run. That's what I'm interested in. So we'll see how that goes. Now, we have this here, and this is why I was telling people. I've been talking about Germany for probably the last year, just off and on. But their economy was having some struggles. Europe is having some struggles. So I always try to put it out there and stay up to date with what's going on in Europe. Every once in a while, especially we have a lot of people on the channel who are in Europe. Shout out to everybody in Europe. This is what this article is titled. Greatest real estate crisis since the financial crisis. German bank. I told people, German bank alerts the market on exposure to commercial real estate. Now, remember, it was recent. Recently, I said, it's not just the United States that has a commercial real estate problem. I was saying that it was a global problem, and here you have proof. It is a global problem, folks. So, I mean, I think it's been widely publicized, the commercial real estate problems in China. It's been, well, I won't say it's been widely publicized in the United States. I think just a few of us have been talking about the commercial real estate problem, how it will take down the banks, and some of us make the connection between the banks going down and their possible implementation of the new financial system, because they would definitely need it. And they have massive liquidity problems. Even the Fed has liquidity problems. And the Fed said it themselves. They said that a lot of what we have is illiquid. Well, the new financial system can provide liquidity for otherwise illiquid assets. We all know that. So now we have Germany, a German bank coming out and saying that. So this is a global problem. Let's read just a little bit about this and find out what's going on. It says the troubles in U.S. commercial property market, which have already hit banks in New York and Japan, moved to Europe this week, elevating fears about a broader contagion. And that's the thing that's going to be insane. And let me draw a direct correlation to gold, because like I said, and it's not a joke. It's not a joke. It's not an exaggeration. I typically think about the U.S. banks going down, and then I say to myself, gold will skyrocket. Not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, but this is what I've seen. I've experienced it. Gold will skyrocket. But now with this, I typically don't think about this. If U.S. banks were to go down, if European banks were to go down, and Japanese banks were to go down, my word, gold would go to another, forget the moon, gold would go to another galaxy. I'm telling you, silver would follow. Silver would be impacted as well. It's become massively popular. I saw an article the other day about Egyptian people turning to silver to protect their value. Remember, I was telling people, I said, the stability of silver is not a bad thing. You know, it's very protective. And now you see articles out there. You can type that up. Egyptian people using silver to protect their value. You're going to see the article. It came out in like the last day. So silver will be impacted as well, in my humble opinion. But could you imagine? That would be insane. It says elevating fears about a broader contagion. Contagion meaning they all could go down around the same time. It doesn't have to be the same day, same month. If all that happened within a year and a half's time period, it would be deeply felt, deeply felt. It says the latest victim was Germany's Deutsche PF and Briefbank AG, which saw its bonds slump on concern about its exposure to the sector. It responded by issuing an unscheduled statement Wednesday that it had increased provisions because of the, quote, persistent weakness of the real estate markets, unquote. It described the current turmoil as the, quote, greatest real estate crisis since the financial crisis. Wow. All right. So we're going to leave that there. I hope you're all doing very well. We have a lot of great people who are subscribers to the channel in Germany. I hope you're safe. I hope you're doing great. I hope your families are doing great. All right. Shout out to everybody everywhere across the world, whether you're in the United States, shout out to you. Central South America, shout out to you. UK, Europe, big shout out to you. New Zealand, shout out to you. Australia, we have people everywhere. I love you all. And I hope you're all safe. That's the biggest thing. I want you to know that. All right. So now let's move on here. So this is an inspirational article. It just shows you what's possible. And I'm telling you, when an NFT market comes back, my word, people are going to make a killing, in my humble opinion. Let's read this a little bit here. This article is titled Cube Farm Comics to Digital Art. This artist made $2.2 million at the first woman-run NFT marketplace. Listen. And you know what's interesting? Man, I'll tell you what. It's going to be an interesting clash coming up between traditional artists. And I'm telling you, I think it's going to be good. Traditional artists versus the AI artist. Now, I actually think the AI artists are going to boost the price that you can get on NFTs and artwork. And make no mistake about it. A lot of the NFTs in the future will be fine art. So people are going to want authentic art that was made by people by hand, whether it was painted with acrylics, oil. That's one type. Another one is on the computer, where people are making stuff on the computer. It's almost the same thing. You can use acrylic style, oil style, and people are using computer programs. That's vastly different than the AI art people are coming up with now, which is there's an ocean of it flooding out there, right? So people are going to want genuine, rare things that was made by a person from a person's mind. That's going to boost how much they can sell it for. So, but there is a clash coming. So you're going to have to make sure that art is top tier. All right. Because there's a lot of this AI stuff is going to try to imitate real artists. And see, I have a passion for this because I've been doing art my entire life, painting. I remember my uncle David brought I think that was my first real painting kit, because I had water paints before, but he brought a paint kit that had oil paint and acrylic in it, and my brother and I would play around with it. So we've been doing this since yay high, right, for lack of a better word. So anyway, and I know a lot of great artists out there that are salivating. They're going to make a killing. They're professionals. They own their art galleries, and I'm telling you, it's coming. But overall, what that's going to do, that's good competition. That's going to make the money that people can make on NFTs. It's going to make it that much bigger, because I'm telling you, they're going to legitimize the NFT sphere. I mean, it's just my humble opinion. It's not financial advice. But if you have a rare NFT, once again, not financial advice. I got to make that clear. If you have a rare NFT, I feel like if you know what you hold, oh my word, things are going to be big. That's that. I'll just put it that way. So anyway, I said all of that without even reading the article. It says, quote, John Lay's journey to becoming a professional artist began in a cubicle. He's since made up for it, racking up over $2.2 million in NFT sales at the online marketplace exchange.art. Although he says he did a bit of design work at age 16, he mostly shelved the idea and took a corporate job. Where at 22, he discovered he loved to draw. It's never too late, people, to learn something new. It's not. All right. I'm telling you, it's not too late. You can learn coding. You can learn how to draw. There's a lot of great tutorials out there, especially on YouTube. Now, just with a little bit of quick gold news. This article here is from USA Today and it's titled Price of Gold. Silver expected to rise with interest rate cuts whenever that happens. UBS analyst projects. Analysts forecast that the price of gold and silver will rise if the Federal Reserve cuts interest rates this year. Yeah, nobody knows when, but yeah, when it does happen, it will rise. I believe that as well. According to a report from CNBC Sunday, Joni Teeves, precious metal strategist with the investment banking company UBS, told CNBC that she expects gold prices to hit $2,200 per ounce by the end of the year. And yes, I could see that happening. All right. So now that you have that information, what are you going to do with it? I know what I'm going to do with it. So until next time, everybody, let's get to the money.